This is Matt Duffield from mattduffieldtrading.com, and tonight we're going to look at the three hot penny stocks of Friday's session: ACI, MCUR, and CLTX. Before we get started, I want to remind you this video is for informational and educational purposes only, and I'm not a registered investment advisor, and neither is mattduffieldtrading.com. Penny stock trading can be risky. You can lose a lot of money, so I urge you to make your own decisions. So let's start off with ACI. This one was really on my radar for Friday, obviously because I held a position overnight. From Thursday, I'd bought in at 332, as you can see here on the 5-minute chart, right at the end of the day, because, let me go out a little bit, 3 days. This was coiling, had a nice little symmetrical triangle there, and I was expecting a morning spike on Friday. So let me get to the 1-minute intraday. So Friday morning, after just a bit of consolidation in the morning, I got my morning spike and I sold at 375. I obviously sold too early, which happens, but I stuck to my original plan, just looking for $3.75. I tweeted just right around in here, right when I sold, that, hey, I sold my shares, but I'm still expecting this to go to $4. Where the resistance level is, and just like 2 minutes later, it got a nice spike up to $4. That's okay. I made, I think, 13% on that trade, so no problem. After hitting $4, price consolidated. It was still bullish, having higher lows all throughout the morning session, and it managed to break above $4 around noon, and price held above $4. And I tweeted that, hey, this is a bullish chart. If it can get above 415, the morning high, price could really take off. And sure enough, it did. It spiked all the way up to 448, a little bit of a sell-off there, and then all the way up to 460. And I felt some price weakness in here. It just felt, that kind of like a rocket, just running out of fuel as it's going higher. Yeah, sure, it's going higher, but it felt like it was lurching higher, just kind of sputtering. And I failed to attempt to short this, unfortunately, because it would have been an excellent short here about 440, as price just plunged down to 366 by 222 there. So yeah, I missed that, but this rally was so strong. I mean, the Dow was down like 400 points, and this thing just kept moving higher. So very strong stock on a weak market day. Going forward, here's what I'm thinking. This big afternoon sell-off, normally those aren't one-time events. What I'm trying to say is it should be followed by more selling. So on Monday, if this breaks the afternoon low of 366, I might be looking to short this, because it'll be a quick short. If I can get in around that price and then cover, I think it'll hit 330, 340. And to back that up, if you go to the 60-minute chart, there's a bearish engulfing candlestick, right at the top. And sure, prices come lower since, but it hasn't seen a big sell-off since then. And there's a bit of, I guess you'd say, air in between this price level or price range here between 360 and 330, high 330s. Good enough for a quick day trade. So let's go to MCUR. That's another big play of the day on Friday. Okay. So on the 3-day chart, you can see price just tanked from 12. Actually, it gapped lower from $12 all the way down into the 2s on Thursday due to bad news. And what looks like happened on Friday, this it looks like there was an overreaction to the news. So buyers were stepping in. If you go to the intraday chart, this could have been a huge win. Right in the morning, you can see this opened at 329 and hit a high of 334. Consolidated for a few minutes there, and then broke above that morning high at 934. So if you could have caught that right when it broke above this morning high, and bought in 335, 340, whatever, within minutes, this spiked to $5. And this is a classic pattern that I look for, is a break over the morning high, which normally doesn't happen within 5 minutes. It normally takes 10 or 20, sometimes 30 minutes. But this stock does move very, very quickly. I mean, that happens so fast. I actually forgot about this one and didn't see it until it was around the 480 range. And it was kind of creating a symmetrical triangle in there, consolidating nicely. I thought it might break above 5. I missed it. It did. It went all the way to $6. From that point, it sold off really hard, and it basically never recovered. I know a lot of traders in the chat rooms were trying to buy in here, the 450 range, and I wasn't feeling it. There wasn't a good bullish pattern. It felt weak. It felt like sideways, choppy action, and that's pretty much what it was. I mean, it couldn't get back above $5. So, I mean, it sold off the rest of the day and closed at 443, on a little bounce off the $4 lows. So I tend to think this is done. I think it's more of like a dead cat bounce to the overreaction from Wednesday. Or I'm sorry, let's see. Gotta go 3 days back. 4 days. Yeah, I'm sorry, from Thursday. So anyway, I'll be watching it. If it can get above $5, that'll be a buy alert, and it should be good for a trade. If not, I'm not going to mess around with this, choppy action in between the $4 and $5 range, and volume isn't very strong. So the last one on Friday that was on my radar all day, it was on my radar all week last week because it was just a huge winner. CLTX. Here you go. As you can see on Friday, let's go to the 5-minute 1-day chart. There was some volatility, pretty much between 270 and 340, which is a huge range. Normally, I would be thrilled with that kind of range and volatility, but for this stock, that's pretty tame for what it was doing days before. But volume was still light. It didn't feel as strong, and that could be because the Dow, like I said, ended up down 500 points on the day, and after what it tripled last week, and it still maintained its gains. I mean, that's very strong. So this could still be in play next week. And if you saw my video on Thursday night, I was expecting a symmetrical triangle to develop. Let's see if I can draw that in here. Got to connect the highs. It's very subjective, but that's pretty good right there for an upper trend line. The lower trend line looks something like that. Okay, so I was pretty much right. Sure enough, a triangle developed, some sideways action. I tweeted, I don't know if I tweeted or I put on stock twits, right around in this 340 range. I said, hey, it's hitting the upper trend line of this triangle. Sure enough, it held prices down, and price closed back inside that triangle. And what's unclear is if this is actually going to have more upward momentum. If this is actually going to break to the upside. Sometimes these penny stocks have these huge super spikes, and then they triangulate a bit, and then they just kind of die off and trade sideways. So that's yet to be seen, but it's definitely one that's going to be on my radar for Monday morning, because I mean, if it breaks above 3 or this 340 level, I mean, this can easily see $4 to $5 a share on Monday, and I think the downside risk is very low, because I don't think this is a pump and dump kind of play. The news for the $75 million placement obviously shows value in this company, and it's been hard to peg a value, after the reverse split and the private placement and the merger. Some think it's worth $2, some think $4.60. I'm not sure, but right now price is in the middle of that range. So I don't think there's a whole lot of risk. I mean, this is still going to be a great trade. Let's clear out those trend lines, see if there's anything else to talk about on this one. 60-minute chart. Yeah, so on Monday, most importantly, this is putting in higher lows. On Wednesday, this was the low after the huge spike, $1.84. On Thursday, the low was 208. On Friday, even better, 277. Or I'm sorry, I think it might have. Yeah, the morning was the lowest, 262. But you can see this is holding higher lows. So, the risk is low as long as if you enter around $3 and take a stop loss, if this breaks below that lower trend line that I just showed you, I feel like the risk is low. Maybe holding overnight is a bit risky, but for these intraday moves, this could still be a great play. I hope this video helped you guys, and good luck on Monday.